have failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed.
Mindset, winning a national championship is a byproduct of all the things that I measure success by. Commitment, passion, toughness, love, servant leadership, discipline. You know, just those are the things that I equate success with.
Me, my coaching staff, we put a huge premium on body language. And if your body language is bad, you will never get in the game. Ever. I don't care how good you are. If somebody says, well, you know, you just benched Stewie for, 35 minutes in the Memphis game a couple years ago. Yeah, I did. Oh, that was to motivate her for the South Carolina game the following Monday. No, it wasn't. Stewie was acting like a 12-year-old. So I put her on the bench and said, sit there. It doesn't matter on our team. Now, the other coaches might say, well, you can do that because you got 3 other, All-Americans. I get that. I understand that. But I'd rather lose than watch kids play the way some kids play. I'd rather lose.
All right, so if you really think about toughness and mental toughness, what does it take to break you? I don't care what circumstance you're faced with. What does it take to break your focus because you get frustrated about what happened on the last play? What does it take to make you give in because it's hot outside, or you're tired, or you don't feel like running to the ball or giving effort or finishing the play like you should because of how you feel, whether you're a little bit hurt? What does it take to break you?
Well, we try to tell them all the time, work while you wait. Most people, even in their personal life, they stop working until the door opens. Then they want to work again now the door open. But in this profession, you got to work while you wait. And because, again, that's why the select model is such a bad model. Nobody sits the bench. But then in high school, you're going to sit the bench. And then college, you're going to sit the bench. And that rookie ball, you're going to sit the bench. And low A and high A, you're going to sit the bench. And double A, you're going to sit the bench. Triple A, you're going to sit the bench. And the big league level, you're going to sit the bench. Why would we go down and create a stupid model that doesn't allow people to sit the bench when yet every other model after that, you're going to sit the bench? That's why so many kids quit. That's also why they stop working while they wait, because somebody created a model that promised them that they would never sit. And then they get ready to get into the real world. They get out of daddy ball and they get into big boy baseball, and they can't handle it because they got to sit maybe. So his job was to work while he waited, not to come knock on my door because it's in, daddy ball.
I'll tell you this. Core values are really important to me. I look for character first. And all you guys have great character. I don't care what star you are, any of that BS. I coached one of the best kids I've ever coached in my life, and a kid named Carson Wentz. He had 0 stars. Son of a gun had unbelievable character, unbelievable work ethic, and a burning desire to compete his tail off. A burning desire.
I go watch my kids play. I don't say boo. I don't wave my arms. I don't try to coach my kids. With all due respect to most parents out there, I probably know more about basketball than most of them. Okay? But I sit in the stands and I don't say a word. I don't try to tell my kid how they should play. You know what I tell my 2 boys when they come at me? Dad, why are you asking me, man? I didn't run your practice. Go talk to your coach. But don't talk about your coach in front of me. Because if you are, then you're not playing basketball. You don't understand why you didn't play better? Go talk to your coach. I'm not your coach. I'm your dad. Somebody disrespects you, then I'm here. If you fail, good. Deal with it. I'm going to help you get up. But don't come talk to me about coaching.
Whenever I first got here, I thought that I worked hard in high school. To be a wrestler, to be a football player. I was pretty good at both. And I thought I was working hard. And then I got to college and I worked just as hard as I did in high school, and I didn't do crap. Okay? So it's just a whole new level. If you succeed in high school, you know what I mean? You got to be ready to amp it up. Go even harder. It's truly just committing everything. I don't have free time. I'm up from dusk till dawn, dedicating myself to football in school. Make sure I'm passing my classes, and I'm going to do everything I can. You do an extra stuff. If you want to go to yoga, watch more film. That's what it takes. You don't really get a social life during football season. Either leave it or take it. That's all I got.
To describe how success happens, you know? So I try to put it in the same context as going to school. Like if you go to class and you do average work, you're going to get a C. That's why it's called average. And if you want a B, you have to do more work. And if you want an A, you have to do even more work. And you have to give up stuff. You have to sacrifice some things. Maybe you can't do all the things that everybody else does. Or if you're just happy getting B's all your life, there's nothing wrong with that either. But you're never going to get the satisfaction of what it feels like to get an A in a class. So I said, this is just another class for you guys, basketball is. If you just want to be average, then you do average work. If you want to be a little bit above average, then you do a little more work. If you want to get A's in basketball, then you got to do stuff that other people aren't willing to do.
I will tell you this, an increasingly larger part of the evaluation of a prospect for us is evaluating the parents. It's a big part of the evaluation. And, we have, and we probably will more so, and it's a private deal. I'm not going to share who, and I'm not going to share where they're going and things of that nature. But when we talk about our fit, we're evaluating the parents too. And if the parents don't fit, then we might punt on the player and not end up offering them a scholarship. And that has changed over a decade. 10 years ago, I'm not sure that was as big of a role. Now it's a big part of it. And I, on the other side, I think it's a bigger part of it when it is a good fit. It's really terrific.
This is the most unselfish, selfless group of men and families I've ever been around. This is rare in this day and age. Rare in a microwave society where it's all about entitlement and all about when do I get to play. This guy's playing with a broken left hand right now. Nobody knows that. His left hand's broken. Last year he played with a broken wrist. Last year Taylor Bean played with a broken thumb. I won't even get into the rest of the litany of injuries that are going on with this team right now. Andrew Frigier just walked up to me in the dugout and said, "Give my last at bat to Nate Van Dyke." Robbie Rojas gave up his last at bat so Hunter Sutherland could catch. You know, there is no greater honor, and this is, I could preach. It's what I wish our country would get back to. There's no greater honor than the sacrifice for a brother. And that encapsulates and embodies this team to a T. That's why they're so lovable.
Play. I'm going to give you a little secret. Here's the way we recruit and the way that most of my colleagues recruit. We don't recruit really out of 7-on-7s. Don't care. Usually don't talk to 7-on-7 coach. I don't know if I really know any that I really talk to about players. A lot of parents ask me, should we go to this camp, this combine? What about this? What about this? The one conversation we rarely have, and I try to interrupt them, say, wait a minute. Be the best player you can on your team, and it'll all take care of itself. Quit worrying about camps. Quit worrying about combines. Eyes up here. Don't worry about that. But you want to go play major college football here, you better be a great player at your high school, and you better respect that high school coach. There's too much other stuff, and that includes the parents. If I hear there's some parent that doesn't, well, the high school coach doesn't do a good job, and I'm like, wait a minute. That high school coach doesn't help. What the hell are you talking about? That high school coach does a great job. He's with their kid all year. You play really good for your team. For some reason, that's been lost. I want to get recruited, coach. What camp should I go to? Stop that. Don't say that anymore. You want to get recruited, you want to go play major college football, go be the captain of your high school team and have that coach call up these coaches and say, take him. He's a man's man. When it's the toughest, when it's the hardest, that's when he plays his best. Got you, coach. We'll take him. Boom.
He said, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful.